Hey Deckers, it's that time of the month where we take a look at the most played games on the Steam Deck by hours played for November, as provided by Valve themselves. So we added some more info and how they run on the deck. At 20, down 4, The Witcher 3 invites you into a rich narrative-driven world as Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter, navigate complex quests and moral choices in this visually stunning and expansive open world. Going to get about 30 to 40 frames per second on the remastered version for this one, and probably only around an hour and a half to 2 hours battery, but it is absolutely stunning on deck. 19th, down 1, Fallout 4 immerses you in a post-nuclear war Boston. As the sole survivor of Vault 111, explore the wasteland, build settlements, and make decisions that shape the world's future in the action RPG. Pretty much solid 60 frames per second at medium settings, and with the OLED you're going to be able to push this one probably up to high, and is absolutely gorgeous on Steam Deck, and mods are supported. 18th, falling 4 spots, Brotato is a quirky survival game. Control a potato character armed to the teeth, balancing resource management and fast-paced combat on an alien planet. Solid 60 frames per second and very small TDP on this one, so you're going to get a good 3 to 4 hours battery if you can survive all of the waves. Up 3 to 17, Monster Hunter World. As a hunter, embark on thrilling missions to track and slay gigantic monsters, utilizing a vast array of weapons and strategies. Check our best settings guide on this one, as you have to tweak a little bit to get a good 40 to 50 frames per second. But as you can see, it does run quite high on the TDP as well, so you are only going to get around an hour and a half to 2 hours unless you have a decent battery bank. Dropping to 16, Slay the Spire. Combining card strategy with roguelike elements, craft a unique deck, encounter bizarre creatures, and discover relics to conquer the ever-changing Spire. Solid 60 frames per second and a good 4 to 5 hours battery life on this one. It's an easy pick up and play title, great for on the go on deck. Rising 4 to 15, Hades. Blending intense action with a compelling storyline. As the son of the Greek god Hades, fight your way out of the underworld, meeting gods, ghosts, and monsters with each attempt. Again, a pretty solid 60 frames per second on this one, and if you have the OLED Steam Deck, you are going to be in awe of the colours on this one, and getting a good 3 to 4 hours playtime as well. At 14, down 4, Skyrim Special Edition offers a vast open world filled with dragons, dungeons, and an epic storyline. Create your own path in this legendary fantasy world. With medium settings, you're going to get a pretty solid 60 frames per second, and you will want to tweak this one up to high on the OLED deck, and still get a good 2 to 2.5 hours battery. Jumping 4 spots to 13, Hogwarts Legacy takes you to the wizarding world of the 1800s. Attend Hogwarts, learn magic, and uncover hidden secrets in the immersive role-playing game. With the latest patches and our recommended settings, you are going to get around 40 to 50 frames per second for the most part on this one. And again, the OLED's definitely pushing the boundaries of this game a little bit further, getting you further into the 50s and 60s, and with the vibrant colours, it really is a gorgeous game on the Steam Deck, but only expect 2 hours max game time. New at 12, Risk of Rain Returns revamps the classic roguelite. Battle through hordes of monsters, unlock new characters, and survive as long as possible in this challenging, ever-changing environment. Solid 60 frames per second on this one, and as you can see, only around 7 to 8 watts TDP, getting around 5 hours plus on the OLED Steam Deck, and I only managed to get past the second dungeon, so let us know if you dive into this one. At 11, down 3, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth offers a dark, randomly generated dungeon for Isaac to try and escape from, battle bizarre creatures, collect power-ups, and unravel Isaac's story in this twisted adventure. Another solid 60 frames per second at around 8 watts TDP, getting you a good 5 to 6 hours on the standard Steam Deck, meaning you're probably going to get a good 8 to 10 hours on the OLED, and a very addictive and frustrating adventure. 10th, a new entry. Coral Island reimagines farm life simulation. Cultivate your farm, interact with 70 unique characters, and restore the surrounding coral reefs in this vibrant, eco-conscious world. Absolutely stunning graphics on this one, but you will need to drop it round to medium if you want to get that FPS over the 60 mark for the most part, and it is a little bit hungry on the power, so only around 2 to 3 hours battery on the OLED, especially as it's eating around 20 watts. 9th down to Grand Theft Auto 5's dynamic open world of Los Santos offers an intricate narrative, high-octane heights, and a playground of unparalleled freedom. With some tweaks, and we do need to update our guide on this one, you can get a solid 60 frames per second at around 2 to 3 hours battery time as well. Absolutely great game to pick up and play if you haven't finished the story in preparation for GTA 6. At 8, down 1, Red Dead Redemption 2 presents a gripping tale of outlaw life in the American heartland. With stunning visuals and deep gameplay, live the life of Arthur Morgan, an outlaw with a moral code. Absolutely stunning game on Steam Deck, but remember not to have 4GB UMA buffer, otherwise you'll hit the 30 frames per second cap near water. Otherwise, you can enjoy 40 to 50 frames per second on medium and around 2 hours battery time. Dropping to 7, Vampire Survivors hanging into our most played list as an addictive time survival game. Battle hordes of nightmarish creatures, collect power-ups, and strive to survive in this minimalist yet challenging game that will get you a good 8 to 10 hours battery life until all of the hordes set in, where things get a little bit chaotic. But for the most part, you'll get 60 frames per second. Climbing 7 spots to 6 is Dave the Diver. Mixing underwater exploration with running a sushi restaurant, you can dive into the unknown depths, encounter marine life and severe exotic dishes in this unusual indie game. A lot of contention whether this is an indie game or not, let us know in the comments below, but for the most part we did cap this one at 30 frames per second to get the best performance out of the deck, as you don't really need 60 frames per second on this one, and with 30 FPS cap you'll get a good 3 to 4 hours battery time. At 5, down 1, Stardew Valley captures the essence of country life. Farm, mine, fish and build relationships in this charming world where every choice shapes your story. Top contender in our most played list every month since they were released, with a solid 60 frames per second and a good 5 to 6 hours battery life at a minimum. You're definitely going to enjoy your time farming on this one. 4th, down 1, Elden Ring invites players into a sprawling world full of intrigue and danger. Embrace your destiny as the Tarnished and seek the Elden Ring in this epic fantasy action RPG. Running at a pretty solid 30 to 40 frames per second on medium settings on the OLED Steam Deck, this is going to be absolutely glorious, and you're going to expect a good 2 hours battery life on this one if you can survive that long. Leaping a massive 8 places to number 3 is Diablo 4, throwing you into a grim world of Sanctuary, fight hordes of demons, explore dark dungeons, and master various classes in this action-packed RPG. You are now actually seeing the Steam Deck OLED version of this one. I'm really surprised at how well this is actually running on Steam compared to our previous Battle.net version. And we will have an updated guide on this one coming soon, as I really am surprised at how much better this is running on the Steam version. Holding at 2, Cyberpunk 2077 lets you navigate the neon-lit streets of Night City and also now Phantom Liberty. Engage in an immersive story of power and betrayal in this visually stunning and deeply interactive world. With our recommended settings, you're going to want to be on around 30 to 40 frames per second, or pushing a little bit higher on low to medium settings at best. But at a pretty much 30 watt power draw, you're only going to get a 1 to 2 hours battery on the standard LCD. The OLED is pushing it to 2 to 3 hours. Another non-mover and 4th month running at number 1, Baldur's Gate 3 continues to captivate. Embark on a journey filled with intricate storytelling, rich characters, and strategic combat in this grand role-playing game. With so many choices and replayability, and although Act 3 can be a bit tough, it's no surprise that this is still at the top. That concludes our November Steam Deck Most Played Countdown. What games have you guys been playing? Share your experiences in the comments below, and be sure to check out our newly verified and playable games lists each week. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.